Okay, I want to talk to you real quick about H.R. 822, the National Right to Carry Act of 2011. Because it's being compared a lot to driver's license, I'm going to talk about cars and guns. Got my driver's license, I got my gun license, okay? Now, the information I'm pulling from is from the Brady Campaign, bradycampaign.org, and www.caraccidents.com. I'll put the actual links and stuff in the description thingy booger. Now, according to the Brady Campaign, 31,224 people died in 1 year. 31,224 people died from gun violence. Now, you break that down, that's 2,602 a month, 86 a day, or 3 an hour. Now, they also have on that very same site, the very same page, 12,632 people murdered in a year by guns. So, there's an 18,590 difference. So, you go by that, that's 12,632 a year, 1,052 a month, 35 a day, 1 an hour. So already at a two-person difference every hour. According to the car accidents site, 2005, 43,443 people a year died in 2005. That's 3,621 a month, 121 a day, or 5 an hour. So you either got a 3 or a 1 person difference, depending on what number you're going off of the guns. So that means, if you go by their biggest number, which cars is 43,443, their biggest number of guns killed, or people killed by guns, is 31,224. That means cars killed 12,219 more people than guns. 12,218 people more. If you go by their lower number, the just murdered number, now you're talking 30,811 more people killed by cars than by guns. Which I find interesting. Now, with my Indiana driver's license, I can drive in 50 states. I can drive a 2011 Honda Civic in all 50 states. With my Indiana gun license, I can carry, I don't know, let's say a Glock 22, 40 caliber Smith & Wesson in 26 states, meaning I can drive that car in 24 more states than I can carry a gun. Now, it's interesting I decided to pick those two because that's the most popular car in the United States and the most popular handgun in the United States. So let's look at those two. 2011 Honda Civic weighs 2,594 pounds, or 18,158,000 grain. Top speed is 116 miles per hour, or 170 feet per second. The range is 369 miles, or 1,948,320 feet. Now that 40 Smith & Wesson, the average weight is 180 grain. Top speed around 1,000 feet per second, and the range is around 500 feet. So, that car I can drive is 18,157,820 grains heavier than the Bullet. It also has a 1,947,820 foot more range than the Round does. Now, the Round is going at 830 feet per second more than the car is. Wow. It goes faster. That's it. If I wanted to, I could probably drive even the smallest, lightest weight car through a solid cinder block wall. Not that almost no handgun round that I can think of can penetrate a cinder block wall. Without stopping, the average car can drive through almost any residential building, residential house, depending on furniture, refrigerators, stuff like that. Depending also if the floor can support the weight of the car. I see very few rifle rounds that'll penetrate straight through a house. with the exception of maybe like 50 BMG. And I'm saying maybe on that. Okay? So, what this is showing me is that cars are far more lethal than bullets are. Okay? Now, another thing that's interesting to me, though, is, and there's another question I would like to have answered. I still have not yet got any answer on any proof that a gun ban or these common sense gun control laws have done anything except hinder law-abiding citizens. I want somebody to show me where in the Constitution is my right to drive. Show it to me. Please show me. Because as far as I know, it's not there. I have a constitutional right to get a driver's license, to not be discriminated against due to race, color, creed, all that fun stuff, to get a driver's license. But I don't have the right to actually apply for one. I don't have the right to get one. There's nothing I can say, hey, you're violating my constitutional rights because you didn't let me drive. I don't see that in the Constitution anywhere. Now, I know where my constitutional right to keep and bear arms is. That's a constitutional right. The difference being, a driver's license, a privilege, can be taken away from you because they want to. The federal government can basically come down and say, you know what, you're not allowed to drive anymore. And you might be able to argue it, but they're going to fall back on, it's not a right. Nowhere in the Constitution says you get to drive. When they come and say, we're going to take your guns away, you can say, excuse me, see that piece of paper over there? Yeah, the second one down? Yeah. That's my constitutional right. The government, of the people, for the people, by the people, can limit privileges. Can limit the nicer things we have in life. There's no right in the Constitution that says you have to have 3,227,000 cable channels. There's no right that says you have to, you can have, actually, I'm going to do it right here, 2 laptops. There's no right that says you can have 14 different colors of pen. The freedom of press gives you the right to have a laptop and to do stuff like this. Freedom of press allows you to own a pen and paper and write. But there's nothing that guarantees that they have to give you 12 different options. But the right to keep and bear arms, that's pretty basic, pretty spelled out there. So, there's your homework. Think about that. Urge your congressmen, congresswomen, and senators to vote yes on H.R. 822. And show me where in the Constitution says I can drive. I have the right to drive. Not the privilege, the right. Thank you. Second Amendment forever.